What is going on, everybody? Happy weekend, happy Sunday. This is At Weeks in the Spoiler Field. Look back at this week in comics, movie news, and so much more. And there's a major movie that just released this weekend that we're going to be diving deep into, talking about the release of Masters of the Universe, the Amazon original featuring the 80s cartoon action star He-Man. Also be diving into some of the comic book news. We're probably going to talk about a little bit of Man of Tomorrow. There's been a lot of photos from the set of Man of Tomorrow. Get some opinions on that. And we'll see what else comes up. We'll see what else happens. I'm doing all that, as well as giving away the June, what is it? April, January, February, March, April, May, the May Legion loot, the epic Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow giveaway. Someone's winning the first appearance of Lobo tonight. Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow, issue number 1, Supergirl DC Finest Collection, a giant stack of stuff, all themed after the big release for Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow that releases the 26th of this month. So we'll be doing all that and more right after this. Gang, gang.
What's happening?
It's morphin time. I can't find my morpher. Oh, there it is, Mark.
Get it. Wait, everyone pause. Go for it, Steve.
It's morphin time.
That's actually super appropriate. Super appropriate timing. We have the brand new Mighty Morphin Power Rangers issue 1 that finally released this week. The long-awaited return of the Rangers. We'll talk about that. I think we'll have some split opinions on that one, so I'm interested to see how we both receive that book.
Yeah.
But before we dive into all that, we're doing a movie spoiler special tonight, like to do whenever a big movie comes out. So and always, we like to invite some extra people on to do such things. You okay down there? You okay?
I have the power.
It's a 10 out of 10 week, huh, Steve?
It's a 10 out of 10 week, baby.
Everything was like, man, I don't know. Steve hits the summertime and he's just so happy to not be in school that everything's 10 out of 10.
It's 10 out of 10 summer.
That's right.
You got new books, you got new movies, you got Heroes Con at the end of the week. But anyways, as always with the spoiler specials, I throw out a couple extra invites here and there. And I was speaking with a buddy today, and I'm like, hey, you want to hop on tonight? He's like, yeah, I'll be watching. I'm like, no. You want to hop on tonight? There's few people that I think are more qualified to talk movies than myself, but this is definitely one of them. I'm not saying he's right or his opinions are that great, but he's definitely qualified.
Your cinema knowledge is only outdone by your modesty.
My modesty, yeah. That's none other than the professor of the arts himself, Mr. Jonathan Medici, comic book writer, creator extraordinaire. How are you doing, good sir?
All around man.
Not too bad. I like that the trash talk is when I'm backstage, so I can't defend myself. That's
best believe that's by design.
Well, I know. Well played.
How are you?
Don't worry. We have a mute button when you're on.
I know. Well, or I'm just gonna get straight bumped, which is totally fine. Or I'm expecting at least once or twice. I'm doing good, man. So far, I've been loving going to the movie theaters this year. I think that there's a bunch of good stuff so far. I mean, and I had a blast with this one, so thanks for having me on.
Oh yeah. Paul, how's your weekend been, sir?
Pretty good. Finished Spider Noir. I saw Master of the Universe. I'll be over here in the corner while you guys talk about Power Rangers. But other than that, doing well.
Yeah, we'll do that after the fact. We'll dive into the stuff that we all partook in on the front end for sure. Steve, how are you doing, sir?
I'm doing well. I'm doing really, really, really well. We are 5 days away from Heroes Con, baby. I am so pumped. So pumped. Not excited about getting up early on Friday, but I'm excited to get there earlier in the day to hang out with my friends, to see you guys. I'm doing well, man. I'm doing really, really, really well.
I just imagined that song, Everything is Awesome, is just playing in your head nonstop right now.
Oh, dude. Yeah. I love the Lego movie. Man. Chris Pratt's great.
Yeah. Jonathan, how's life been for you? You had your successful rollout of Eric. You've had, 2 or 3 live appearances with it, setups?
I've had three signings so far I'm learning each time to bring more books. We've done really well each time. Each time I've increased the number of books I brought, and each time we've left with no books. So still trying to figure that out. but it's been awesome. The reception's been great. I want to do more and more. So maybe by next year I can join you guys at Heroes and do like have a booth or something. We'll see. Hopefully by then I'll have 2 more books out, 2 more comics, 2 more floppies. So things are good, man. Things are good.
What is the future
I
hold?
can understand. I can understand the frustration with not having enough books, but that's a good problem to have.
Yeah. Oh, I'm not complaining. It was it's been really cool. There's some cool shops in LA that I've been lucky to get into, and their owners are super amazing. So like Golden Apple over in Hollywood that was absolutely bananas and awesome. And in like 3 hours we were completely out of books, and I was like, shoot. This was a mistake. I needed to bring more. So it's been good, man. It's been awesome. Thanks.
How did you pull that off? Get the invite to set up and stuff.
So I have an amazing comic book shop that is my local LCS, which is a couple miles from my house, which is the Comic Bug. They actually have 2 locations. Actually, Paul, when he was in LA, we took a little trip to both of them.
Yeah, I remember that. He mailed you some books, and then he arrived before the books.
That's correct. Yeah. It was pretty absurd. But yeah, we met in the little town that I live in, and we went down to Manhattan Beach, where I know the owner, June. He's amazing. If you actually have a copy of Eric, he's one of the cover. Yes.
What's the name of the comic shop?
The Comic Bug.
What's the name of the owner?
June Bug.
There it is.
Yeah. All right. Putting the pieces together. Very, very wise man. But yeah, obviously that's been my LCS for a really long time, and June's absolutely amazing guy. So we did a signing there. We actually did in both shops. So with Paul, we went up to Culver City, which is right next to Sony's a lot. I started there in the morning, then went down to Manhattan Beach, did the rest of the day there. But June, he's been awesome. So he just said, let's reach out to Ryan. Ironically, the owner of Golden Apple, I had met multiple times at cons. I just never realized he was the owner. He was just at the booth. So then when I went over there, I was like, oh, we've met like 5 times. He's like, yeah, I remember you. I bought like Ghost Machine books off of him, and then I came to some signings for Ghost Machine, which was at WonderCon for the last couple of years, I think. So yeah, that was the connection of how I got over to Golden Apple.
So I've been to Golden Apple a couple times, and the thing I remember about it is there's not a lot of space. Where do they put you?
So that's actually really funny. So like here's 2 parts about how funny my signing was at Golden Apple. I got there like an hour before it opened, and I saw like the guy, the cashier, like opening the store, and I followed him in, and he turned around and he's like, he thought I was like a homeless person. He says like, who the F are you? Like, get out of here. I was like, I'm actually here for the signing. So then, so the place is not very big, but up in the front, they have like right when you walk in, right on the left, they kind of have an area where they usually move stuff around for bigger signings where they have like, 4 or 5 people, and they kind of reorganize it. But I was just kind of like right there on the left behind like a kiosk. It's not a kiosk, but like a display. And it was really cool. They hooked it up. So I was right there by the door. And let me tell you, when they open on Wednesday, there is a line around the block. So It was awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, they have almost everything that I wanted, but it was like I just remember walking in, it's like it's packed. There's very little room to move anywhere.
Well, so the history of it is they used to have a bigger shop, but then they moved, and it's now in the location that you went to on Melrose. So it's pretty tight in there. But to be honest, for a comic book shop to be on that street, it's pretty unbelievable.
Okay.
Like if I won't even throw a number out there, but to have that space in that location is pretty nuts. So awesome. Owners, like if you're in LA, go check out the shop. It's legendary. It is wall to wall. Yeah, it is packed. You'll also I think it was like 2 days later, Keanu Reeves was in, and I was like,
wow.
What? Good. I could have handed him a copy of Eric, but yeah. And the funny thing is like right where he's in the photo, where he's like signing one of his books. I was like, man, I was standing right there like 2 days ago. I was like, damn it.
That's super dope. What's next? What's next for Eric? When can people
So-
expect another something?
So what's next is we're definitely like I am currently on the wait list actually for like a table at San Diego. And if that comes through, I'll be at San Diego Comic-Con, which would be awesome. I think that's a long shot, but we're going to start lining up some signings at cons and stuff, which would be really cool. I've just been kind of going to all the cons for the last few years, but starting to table is actually going to be on the horizon. The next step is kind of even talking about Mark about this earlier. And not to jump the gun a little bit too much, but the next announcement will be we're going to start the second arc of Eric. So if you've read the book, it'll be chapter 7, and we're moving forward with that. And probably in the very next project is called The Fall, which right now exists in the Eric universe. It's going to be like a one-shot that kind of predates page 1 of Eric, and it's kind of like a horror thriller that's actually written, all ready to go. It's we're in the process of like figuring out the artist on that, but be super excited when hopefully in the very near future we're making an announcement about that and what's going on with that book. So
Nice.
we got 2 in the pipe, and hopefully those will be done in a perfect world in the next like 3 to 4 months.
Nice.
What's going on, Anthony? And to address your question, dude, I've never dove into any of the Master of the Universe comics. I know that what's his name? Tim Sheridan
Mm-hmm.
writes the current Master of the Universe stuff that kind of tied in with the animated TV show from Kevin Smith, Revelations, that stuff.
Yeah.
And he also did a movie tie-in comic if you want something more recent that's tied into the most recent Netflix series. But Master of the Universe had like limited runs for a long time. Like they did.
Yeah, and they were one of the groups too that I think they did a DC run, and they also did a Marvel or a Star comic run, right?
Yeah. So I guess that would be something that I would say go to mycomicshop.com, which is like the world's largest online comic book store, especially for back issues. Type in Masters of the Universe. It'll just show you a list of all the different runs. Like that way you can actually separate, like if you're a fan of different era kind of thing, like if you'd rather read something new versus old, that'll give you an idea of kind of where to search from there. And Jonathan says just go buy his book.
Yeah.
Which I don't necessarily disagree with. If you're looking for a He-Man story, you might have to like read his book really slow or a bunch of times to try to find He-Man if he's even in the book. I don't remember him being there, but I don't know. Eric is a good read though.
Definitely.
Massive
Successful Kickstarter. That Kickstarter did big numbers, man.
Yeah, we did really well, and that's entirely because of you guys, like this community. Like you guys are awesome. So I owe you guys a lot. And when we do the next crowdfunding for the next book, we'll try to do something really special for everybody, like this guy over here who's awesome. Let's just say awesome. One above all. There he is.
Can't wait. I can't wait to read the next part.
I'm excited, man. I think the script's in a really good place. Yeah, and the next arc on Eric is. I'm excited, but I'm also I'm excited. I'm trying to figure out exactly how much to get in there and what to keep and how long we can figuring out the logistics. Yeah, so that's the B cover. That's the A cover. That's so Mark's actually holding. Yeah, that's this guy right here. They're both Ivan Tao covers. What Mark is actually holding though is that's the Ashcan from WonderCon a couple of years ago. He's holding issue 6 and issue 1 because we actually went straight to a graphic novel, like a full-on book. And there he goes. What Mark is actually holding right now is that was a pre-production, like extremely limited, no cover done yet, that I sent to a handful of people to review. And Mark was amazing enough to actually read it, review it, give me some feedback on it. We made some last minute changes to that actual book that Mark is holding. There's 5 more pages in the book that aren't in that exact edition of it, but there was only like 10 of those made. So Paul, I think you got one too, hopefully.
I did.
But yeah, and then the two books that Mark was just holding, issue 1, what made that the Virgin copy, there was 100 of those. That has like the original art in it, which has some nudity, and you kind of see the original lettering on the book. And then chapter 6 that he was holding with the B cover Virgin, that actually has one extra page that's not in the novel. So the book's 132 pages. That has like page 133, where you kind of get a little bit of a tease. I think this might be the first time he's ever seen this. So we're seeing a reaction in real time.
It's the first I've ever taken it out of the bag. I was saying geez to the actual paper quality.
Oh yeah, those ones were legit.
Mhm.
Yeah, when I opened, I said geez, and I had to look at the actual.
Yeah, those. By the way, we still have a decent amount of those left. So I mean, if you're interested in purchasing any of these, like anybody in the chat or anything, send me a DM on Instagram and I'll get it straight to you. I know the website was having some issue with the ordering. That has been fixed, but you don't need to go to the website to order it if you don't want to. Just hit me up on Instagram. Most of the people that are buying the book are actually just messaging me on Instagram, and hit me up with your address. We'll figure it out and we'll get one sent out to you. We still have obviously the full graphic novel. We have like one of the metal prints left, which Paul, or one of each, maybe one or two of each of the metal prints left, and then I think we have about 20 of the Virgins still, if you're interested in those collectibles. But things have been kind of flying off the shelf a little bit, which is great, which is awesome.
Absolutely.
Well, I'm excited to see what you have come next. I'll be there to support it. I'm going to peddle you around the internet like your pimp and just sell you to anybody who's willing to throw dollars at you.
All right. Hopefully
Yeah,
you're slightly more lenient than a very aggressive pimp with how much you take from the rate.
I'm soft but firm.
I can only afford so much. I got to fund these books somehow.
Well, when I'm your agent, but I'm your unpaid agent, things get a little rough. You know what I'm saying?
Somebody help me out and clip that right now. I need that locked in legally for legal reasons.
Mark is locked in.
Locked in. All right. Well, let's get into it. Big thing for this week. Highly anticipated Masters of the Universe remake. It's been 38 years since Masters of the Universe was on the big screen, and it has returned. I was seeing a lot of people saying it's been 41 years. I waited 41 years for this, and I'm like, 41? It's definitely 38. And I remember that very easily because that movie came out in a very specific year. You know what I'm talking about, Steve?
Oh, I do know what you're talking about, sir.
Steve?
Well, they started waiting 3 years before the first one came out.
That makes sense. Okay. Maybe they're talking about since He-Man started in general. Yeah. I don't know. But a brand new Master of the Universe movie produced by Amazon. Amazon owns MGM Studios, and they made it through that. Now, this isn't the first Amazon release. They've had some success recently with films. I think the biggest one that I always go back to is they had Red One, which was a huge movie success for them. It was one of the most over-budgeted films in the history of cinema, and they did a free cinema release for anybody who had a Prime membership, and it was a huge success on their platform. And then most recently, they saw massive success, critical fan success, and I believe they financially did pretty well with Project Hail Mary, right? That's theirs as well.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Yep.
Now they're moving over to the IPs, the intellectual properties, and this is their first outing, and apparently it hasn't financially done very well. I think it did 55 million worldwide, which is next level bad. This is so bad performance wise, and I don't think anyone could have planned how bad this is.
Yeah, I think it's 48. I think it's not even 55.
Yeah, I think it did from what I saw, it was at 54 point something, but that might have been projections that I saw.
Yeah,
but how much a movie makes in the theater has no bearing on how good or bad the movie is, and that's what we're here to talk about. But it's always fun to talk about the back end of it, and we'll definitely be talking about some more behind-the-scenes stuff and what the future of Masters of the Universe could potentially look like in a bit. But before we go any farther, the first thing we need to do is lock in everybody. What is it, Paul? What's so funny, Paul?
Lock in everybody's color rating.
We're going to need everybody to rate this movie on the color scale. No one's interested in your personal scale. We just need the color scale. That's all.
It used to be. I remember the days when you could do your own scale, but now it's like everyone's got to do the color scale.
Well, you can do your own scale, but everyone else's scale doesn't make sense. There's the color scale. Unless you have your own scale, I'd like to hear your own scale, and then we can just translate it to the color scale.
No, I will. I will. I hear how you treat other people on the panel.
Rings.
So
I'll stick to the rings.
I'm going to give it. I liked it. I'm going to give it an 8 rings out of 10, which is probably at the upper of the greenish yellow.
I would say that's green.
Which
1,
is
2, 3, 4, 5.
Which is
That's green.
I liked it more than I liked The Mandalorian and Grogu, even though I'm more of a Star Wars fan than I am a He-Man fan.
Yeah, what does that say?
Yeah.
This guy, I'm glad you said that because now I got him here. We're talking about that if we have time later, John.
I'll get in on that convo.
Steve.
Dark
Yeah,
green.
if you're watching in the
off
chat, you watch
scale.
it. Everybody rate it in the chat as well.
Off the screen, dark green. I loved it.
You tell Paul, hey,
Oh, hey, Paul.
come to
Hello.
see him next month.
It's getting close, Paul.
It is getting close. Yeah.
It's getting real close. I can't
Right.
wait.
You
Mom,
take
this
care
is
of
that
yourself.
jabroni in California I told you about who does like movie writing, who I helped him edit his book. a long time ago. This
Yeah.
is him. I talked about you and my mom a whole bunch.
Hey, she did.
What?
How are
What
you?
happened to your shoulder?
I fell.
She talked back to Finn.
Oh,
I fell and broke it.
That's a
She-
he's
Broke
a,
my arm.
he's a
She was the
violent-
last person who didn't do what Mark said.
Yeah. Finn's learning karate. It's just dangerous.
Okay, yeah.
Nice
I
to meet you. See you
It's a
later,
pleasure.
Paul. Y'all be safe. Bye.
Take care.
All
I
right,
love you.
bye.
She was going to the kids'
I'll be here.
end of year. What was it, Mom? Their STEM presentation. Their STEM presentation, and her and Kyle were walking to school, and the sidewalk was messed up from the tree root under it, and she went down, bam, broke her nose and fractured a bone in her elbow right here. Her nose is better now. Yeah, still healing. So that happened, in less than 24 hours later is when Pops broke his arm. Completely separate things.
the universe.
Mhm.
It's crazy.
So, Steve, you gave it a 10, right? 10 out of 10?
I'm giving it a dark green. Like, honestly, if I could give it like an 11 or 12 out of 10, I would have. Like, I only had 2 very, very, very small issues. Outside of that, I loved it. I had no issue whatsoever with the length or really hardly anything at all. I loved it.
John?
My up. All right. I had a lot of fun with this movie. I think it knew the assignment, and I think it kind of nailed that. I can't give it. I think I gave like a. I think Mortal Kombat was better than this movie. I actually think it was the Mandalorian Grogu conversation is closer. So I'd give this like a 7 out of 10.
That's solid too.
Yeah,
That's
I enjoyed
solid.
it. I'm not saying it's bad. I guess I have like 2 things that stuck out to me in the movie, but we'll get to that
All right.
probably.
Two,
Let me catch
two
up with
things,
you.
but you gave it a 7?
Oh, wait. What? Come here
That's
for a
interesting.
second.
The green one.
No, turn those off for a second. Come here. Just poke your head in here. On a scale of 1 to 10, what would you give the Masters of
10.
the Universe movie, the He-Man movie?
Hey, Finn.
Like if 1 is bad and green is 10, what color would you give it?
Probably a solid yellow.
Solid yellow in the middle or above the middle?
Middle.
So you didn't like it that much, just kind of a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was cool and all, but not that much.
He liked the Mandalorian better.
Yeah.
All right.
My man. Finn is in Europe, by the way. Fun fact.
Mhm.
Fun fact. Whoa, still need to be compensated for that.
We clipped it already.
Well,
He's
like-
not your agent.
Does he have an NIL agreement?
Right?
I ain't heard of one.
Name, image, likeness, man.
Carlito gave it a 7.5. J-Man, let's see. I thought I saw it. He gave it an 8.5. Joe gave it a 9.5. Sledge gave it a 6.5. Donovan gave it a 9.5. My favorite part of He-Man is when Tila gee up to the Latia.
I think it grew up to be Latina. I
Grew up
think
to be Latina. Oh,
Mhm.
happens to the best of them.
Mhm.
I too am a fan of her.
Yeah, I think
Camila
everyone
Mendes.
was.
Riverdale. Yeah. OG fan over here.
3 out of 5 Izzy's. Yeah, I'll be honest with you guys. I give it about like, dude, I'd probably give it an 8. Like I'd give it like right at the start of solid green, and I'm happy to unpack it. I mean, everybody knows what the knows what it's about. You know, in a nutshell, Skeletor invades Eternia, takes over the kingdom from Adam's parents. He gets spirited away to Earth, where on the travel journey there, the sword goes out of his hand, and he has to get a hold of it before he can get home. He eventually finds it. It doesn't take too long, and then by grabbing the sword, a beacon goes out, and people come for it, including Tila and Beastman, where she brings him back to Eternia, and the ragtag group of people kind of fight back against Skeletor to try to activate the power and take back the throne. And ultimately, that's what happens. So let's start unpacking it. Some of the stuff that really hit or miss. Steve, you said you had pretty much just two little issues for you, and J-Med, you said the same thing. I'm curious, what are those, the two things that kind of detracted for you guys?
Want me to go first?
Sure.
All right. So I thought Nicholas Galitzin, I think that's how you say his name. I thought it was Galitzin. I thought it was amazing as He-Man. The only thing is I thought when his dad died, like that fake crying scene, like that wasn't great, to be honest with you. I mean, it was up there with that one chick dying and The Dark Knight Returns. Like it was up there with that, in my opinion. And then the CGI in the final battle, there was a little bit there that I didn't think was great. But outside of those two very small moments, everything else was perfect to me. But I'm not a big He-Man fan. Like I went into it like hardly knowing anything about any of the characters. So I had no expectations, and that's probably why I liked it so much.
Yeah, same. So I definitely grew up watching the shows. I remember playing with the toys more. I was pretty young when it was actually out, so I don't remember the show that well and like the tone of it. But I thought the movie, like, kind of, like I said, it knew the assignment and kind of landed it. The two things that kind of irked me, well, not irked me, but I was like, dang, pump the brakes on this a little bit, were all the sexual innuendos. It was just too hot for me. I was like, who's the audience for this? Like, I think it's kind of a younger audience, and it's just like, okay, some of them, 2 of them, 3 of them, great. When it's one like every scene, I was like, okay, this is a little too much.
Between your sweaty thighs or whatever. That
was the only one I was like,
that
okay,
was a little on the
that's a
nose.
little
The rest
much.
of them,
I mean, give them head. I mean, come on. There's a lot of those in the movie. There's a lot. And then the second one, I was just like, they're like, give me the sword, give me the sword, give me the sword. And he'll like get hit and his sword will like fly off on the other side of like everyone fighting. And no one goes for the sword. Everyone just keeps fighting it. I'm like, what the? Like, what's going on? Like, Skeletor literally just said, hand me the sword, and it flies out of your hand across on the other side of the guys. And that's just a nitpicky kind of me thing where I was like, if your goal is to get the sword and it flies across the room, you've lost. The sword is gone. But they kept attacking him and stuff. And it didn't happen one time. I think it happened like 3 or 4 separate times, like in every fight. So when he was on the bridge, well, I don't want to go too spoilery, but there's a couple of fights where literally
go spoilery, bro. Go spoilery.
They're on the bridge and the sword literally flies out across the bridge and lands at the feet of everybody. I'm like, this is over. Grab it. You got your ship. Goodbye. Give it to Skeletor. Nope, we're gonna keep fighting. I'm like, what? Then inside the cave
doesn't it explain later though that the power is actually in him and not in the sword?
At the very end, I thought that was great how they did that.
They're asking for the sword though before that point.
Right. Yeah, absolutely,
they just keep saying like, "Give me the sword, give me the sword, give me the sword,"
right.
And it's like, boom! It flies across and lands at their feet, and like no one picks it up. And I was like, "Pick it up, run!" Like, what the heck? Like, what? Why is this not making sense to any? Like, I was like, what? But yeah, that's like ultimately like a nitpicky thing. So that's why I said like it knows the assignment. It's not taking itself too seriously, and it was fun. So like that's why it got like a 7, not like a 4 or something.
Paul, what's some of the hit or misses for you?
I really liked it. Some of the things, and I think I mentioned this to you yesterday. I was kind of the only time I rolled my eyes when he was battling Skeletor at the end, and he basically has this flashback to the gym, and Skeletor's in the gym with him. And I'm like, oh my god, what is this? But the scenes that follow it afterwards kind of helped explain that, so I didn't didn't bother me as much anymore because okay, you know what, he's seeing him basically at all the times that he has basically felt uncomfortable or unworthy or less than whoever's around him or whatever, and he has to overcome that. But I thought there was a lot. If you watched the show from in the 80s or whatever, there was a lot. It's kind of interesting that it's interesting, Jonathan, that you knew it from the toys because that's actually how it started. It was a toy first.
Yep.
It was Mattel missed out on the Star Wars toys, so they created He-Man, and then they made that into the show. So but they I was telling Mark, like the way that they laugh at the end, that was like the way that they laughed in the cartoon, like it was like there was plenty of stuff if you knew what to look for. There was plenty of stuff that was there, and there was plenty of stuff that didn't make sense, like you said, J-Man. But yeah,
Here's a
overall,
fun little-
I liked it.
Yeah, here's a fun little fact. If I literally could point the camera out my window, you would see the Mattel building.
Oh, really?
Wow.
Yeah, for me, I don't think there was too much that I really would have to criticize about it. It's just for me, it was one of those movies that some stuff just landed harder and some stuff I wouldn't say it's like, I don't really think there's anything that I would be really hypercritical of this about. There's some stuff that's just kind of just par for the course kind of thing. Like the humor for me, the theater I was in, you didn't have people chuckling and busting out laughing at a couple of times where you had a couple of humor parts. But I like that the overall tone of the movie just felt lighthearted, despite it being some pretty heavy at times stuff, especially with Skeletor abusing his own people and just melting and murdering people, and the way he's laughing about it all. It almost kind of takes away from just how sinister and evil it is, but not take away in a bad way. It kind of just makes it where it opens up the movie to a wider audience. But a lot of the jokes didn't feel like they were meant to make you laugh. It was just meant to kind of keep a certain tone of the movie, which I thought they did a good job with the tone being consistent with what they gave us in the trailers. Because I felt like this is one of those rare times where the trailers, the movie delivered the exact movie that they said they were going to, like with that rock and roll, hyper energy, retro feel, neon light kind of fuel ride. It's definitely what landed for me.
It doesn't get more 80s than a Queen song.
No, I don't think it does. And then the most important thing that I absolutely loved about the movie, and I was actually shocked by it, was the messaging of this film. Like the whole concept behind this movie is that this guy is trying to get home to the place where he belongs, because where he is, he doesn't belong. And where he is represented by pronouns on the desk, blue-haired people in an office building at HR talking about their feelings and how many different truths everyone has, and this boss lady who can't even talk directly to you and say what she wants to say to you, afraid for whatever weird rule society has for her as a boss. Like everything about the world that he was thrust into, our world, was presented as being crazy, and he just wants to get home. Yeah, well, he just want to get home, and this is where it gets actually interesting, and it actually gets really deep, because he gets home where he's taught that the only thing that matters is being a man and being brave and being physically strong. Even Tila, the girl, is being trained to do such a thing. So it's kind of the polar opposite. And then they do this great little throw it all on its head thing when his dad's passing away, and he says that he just wanted to make him proud and be strong. He's like, what are you talking about? I just wanted you to be safe. And it's like, kind of like, and Cliff said it best. He's like, the perception of a child's mind and what he thought his father wanted versus the reality of it, what was happening. And then how cool it was at the end to kind of like, to be the whole embodiment of what it really means to be a hero. Yes, you have to be strong. Yes, you have to be brave, but not at the cost of empathy. You know, those things are not exclusive. Like, it's when you have both of them, it's kind of, God, what was that? Like how Jordan Peterson put it years ago, like strong people are brave because they're capable. You know what I mean? And they choose not to harm people. They know when to and when not to. And you see that with He-Man when he tells Skeletor, he's like, oh, I know how to wield the power. I just prefer not to. And you get like one of the most epic putting them paws on somebody moments I've ever seen in an action movie.
But I think it's important that he used some of the things that he learned in our role, for lack of a better term,
Yeah,
to help him. To help
the
him.
HR meetings.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yep.
To get out of the cage, right? He used all of those. So
Yeah, that was hilarious. He used what he knew,
right,
which when he used it, now that was meant to be a comical scene. Like
right.
what are we even doing here? But yeah, it was pretty funny. I thought the messaging was great in it. I thought like the whole thing behind it was fantastic. I loved Duncan. Man of Arms was a standout role for me.
Absolutely.
Idris Elba is such a great actor, and watching his fall from grace, the false bravado, like he truly believed he was capable to protect people. He truly believed because I'm strong, because I want to so bad that I'll be capable. And failure was unfathomable, and it broke him. And dude, that scene at the end when he gets his second shot at what's it, trap jaw,
Hmm.
just flying through the windshield, and then just starts laying into him, and he never slows down. He never relents, ever gives him a second to breathe, and the whole time he's just yelling, "You remember me? You remember the man I was?" Before he puts a bomb in his mouth and uppercuts him. Like, bro,
I
that scene
wish
was,
that scene was a little longer, I guess. If I had to
dude,
say,
it
I wish
was
it was
so
a little
cool.
bit longer because the first scene was incredible. Like the first time they fought was incredible. It lasted several minutes, and that time it felt like it lasted like 20 seconds. So that is one other thing I wish was a little bit better, but still, I mean, you're trying to nitpick at that point if you're me, I guess.
And I think that first scene might have felt like longer too because it was right at the beginning, and they had that
Yeah.
cool entrance, and they made you realize Trapjaw wasn't just a regular goon because they're sitting there fighting. Everybody's so fast paced, but then when Trapjaw comes in, they give him like the little half speed step down the hallway. You're like, oh, okay, what's this? Yeah, he's trying to bulky Loki beat Skeletor in Avengers Doomsday. There it is. There it is. Steven had already been.
I already knew. I knew.
Yes. Yeah, the Sandlot is on. But yeah, dude, y'all mentioned the fight at the end, Steven. A little bit of CGI there for you, but that fight scene, like when He-Man put the sword down, his eyes are lighting up,
Mhm.
and he just hit Skeletor one good time, and he's like, "Oh snap!" But then the way that they did like the transition between like
The
regular
transitions were great.
to slow motion, I told Paul like because he put it on Skeletor, and Skeletor was like, "All right, let's talk." He's like, "No, we're past that," and he gave it to him again, like the whole
Yes.
uppercut, hit him, like grabbed him by the foot, slammed him. But when you see him hitting him in the face, and it slows down, and he hits him in the face, and it slows down, I'm like, dude, that's like someone's playing with their toys.
Mhm.
It's literally like watching a movie
Oh.
version of playing with toys. Like hit him, smack him, pow, and it worked so well. And on that IMAX screen, like me and Pops was like, oh, that
That-
scene got a reaction out of people.
I wanted to ask J-Med's thoughts because that third act is definitely different than what you typically see for a third act with like him going into his head and going to the gym and then him getting stabbed and then the sword coming back together. I really liked it because it was different than what I thought I was going to get for a third act. I loved it. Outside of a little bit of bad CGI, like I thought the fighting was great. What did you think of that third act? Because it's not your typical third act.
This is where he's about to break. Uh-oh.
What's that?
So he's about to break it down. Uh-oh. This is what he went straight to when we first got on the phone after the movie.
Yeah, I mean, this is probably why it's not like as like an 8 or a 9, like or competing with like Mortal Kombat. I actually don't think the issues were with the third act. I think it was more with the second act, and then that bleeds into the third act of the movie. If you're looking for like my opinion of how things broke down, and the reason for that is like one of the very first things you learn in like a screenwriting class is that like in the second act of your movie, there has to be obstacles that you overcome that without that knowledge, you can't really accomplish your mission in the third act of your movie. And yes, we saw like the HR stuff and the flashbacks and stuff, which is really really analogous to Thor Ragnarok. If anybody's seen that movie, or if hopefully everyone's seen that movie, it's really analogous to that. It's like, okay, this is playing out in kind of the same fashion, except they broke the sword in the fight versus at the beginning of Thor Ragnarok, which was it's actually the end of the first act in Thor Ragnarok versus in the third act of this movie. So yeah, for me, it would have been like what like lessons did he really learn in the second act that were like integral to his arc? And they're there. You can kind of find them, like Mark said earlier, with like his lessons from HR, and he tried to use that, and you do see him implement that. But it would be like, I don't know. I was trying to piece together actually in real time as I was watching the movie, like how those sequences could have progressed. Because like even when he's on the bridge and he gets the power, like right away, he just gets it. And I'm like, man, that like in terms of like dynamic obstacles for someone to overcome, like I felt there could have been more, like they could have probably done something that's slightly more creative. But then again, it's like they know what the movie is, so, and they know the genre, and they know that it's kind of, you know, more of a comedy, so the comedic elements can kind of mask those writing things. So to answer your question directly, I would say for me, it's actually something that happened in the second act that translated down into the third act. And I don't know if that directly answered your question, but that would be my breakdown.
What I would have said in response to that is, obviously the hero's journey is what everyone wants, but like in that second act, I think that was more about him helping Duncan become man at arms again, and him dealing with Duncan being a father and a drunk and not really making his daughter proud and all that. Well, he is trying to get him to become the man he once was. And obviously in the final fight with him and Trapjaw, like that actually happened. So, and that goes back to what Mark was saying about his HR stuff. Like he was really good at helping other people. And so that's why I think that was shown so much in the third act.
Yeah, totally fair. I mean, that is the argument, and that is the study. I mean, I think there was like 700 writers on this, so I'm sure that's like there was a lot of writers on this.
Did y'all catch the moment? I don't think Duncan was a drunk. Did y'all catch that moment where he offered some to Adam? And
Yes.
Adam said no. And do you remember what he said in that dialogue to Adam? Like, because he's a failure, it's easier to live life letting your daughter think you're a drunk versus letting her know you're a failure.
Oh, I did not know that.
Like that analysis, except he threw up on him when he
He
wakes
did.
up.
Yeah.
He got called.
He
got
did,
called
but I'm
drunk.
saying, like,
I like that. I like it. But for me, I would say he drank because
they went too far into the bit to make that believable. Like you can't go back on it now. But they did put that in there. That was there at the end.
Yeah. I like it.
I guess like it's easier to say, like, I'm not saying that he hasn't ever drank or whatever, but consider like saying that he's like a bumbling drunk. Like we didn't see him in any other context of the movie. The only time you see him as like a useless drunk is for a brief moment when he first wakes up. That's it. That is it. He is back immediately, like riding a bike, you know. Like, I mean, literally, like after they go down the little slide hill to the bridge where Trapjaw is, like he's not
I agree
drunk
with you,
there.
except if to just give a pushback, I agree with you. But to give a pushback, I mean, he has a flask in his armor.
That's what I'm saying, though. But what I'm saying is, I don't think there's booze in that. Is my point, because he offered it to Adam, and when Adam said no, that's when he made the comment that could lead you to question if it's even booze in there. Like if I carried a flask, it'd just be water in it because I don't drink. But I'm not.
It'd be coffee.
I'm not better than a cool flask. You give me a flask with a Superman S on it, like that's cool.
There is one other thing I will say, I guess. Now, the more I think about it, there's no way that a prince is getting bullied by other people and no one's doing anything about it. There's just no way, even though he's a small little guy, that Prince Adam is getting bullied and no one is doing anything about it.
I'd refer you to watch Game of Thrones.
Yeah,
it happens.
I did watch Game of Thrones.
It happens to a lot of them.
I did like that. I'm just saying in general, like it's typically not what you'd see.
So going back to the drunk thing, I think I do think he was a drunk. And the reason I think he's a drunk is because I think that basically what he did was he made himself a drunk so that his daughter would think that first before she thought he was a failure.
Yeah, I agree with that.
There you go. I like that.
That's probably a good middle ground of the analysis.
So I saw someone in the comment earlier, I think it might have been Donovan, mentioned Battle Cat. What'd y'all think of Cringer? I'll be honest with you, that was one of the biggest. Like, I didn't know what they were going to do if we're going to get a talking cat, and they just started the movie with just a talking cat hanging out in the bedroom. I'm like, Well, they're going full on. This is going to be full on He-Man.
I had no issue with it, but I'm not big into the He-Man lore, so I had no problem with it. But I know a lot of people said they were upset that he wasn't more as Battle Cat until the very, very, very end. So I could see it, but I had no issue with it.
Yeah, I thought we had the right amount of cringer, to be honest with you. It'd been awkward having to keep that cat on every spaceship, on every fight, hiding behind every tree with him. That'd have been a lot. But it was cool seeing the riding in at the end and fighting Beastman for a brief second. It was cool seeing him full on Battle Cat with the armor. That made the end like a great stinger kind of thing. But I was just happy to see him in the MGM logo.
They're definitely they want to make another one for sure.
Oh, yeah.
54 million is not going to get it done, but I know they're trying to
sell toys, but that's the problem.
And subscriptions, because at some point it will go to Prime, so I get that as well. But 54 million, it's not.
We can talk about that right now if you want.
Sure.
Because we're in, and y'all are gonna hear me repeating this a lot over the next few months. It's my own observation of the industry as somebody on this side of the industry, as somebody who's been around movies for my whole life, who's worked at Movie Stop, who went to little retreats for the company and stuff and talked to studios and know how big of a deal physical media was to the industry back then and how they don't have that anymore, and seeing how streaming services disrupted everything about the industry and how they're trying to figure out what that looks like now. The best example that I point to is Red One. It was like a $250 million budget film. That's not counting marketing. That's the production budget. Granted, $249 million of that was probably just to pay The Rock. It was still a great Christmas movie. They put it in theaters at the last minute just so that there's something in theaters for Christmas time for people. They let people go watch it for free as long as you had a Prime subscription. They didn't care about making money in the theater. Every dollar they made from the theater was $1 to the good. Didn't cost them anything to put it there at the end of the day. It was just all to the good, because the movie was made with the sole purpose of just making it straight for their streaming platform. And they released it on the streaming platform like 1 week after theaters because they wanted it out there for people to watch with their families. It did well enough on the streaming platform that they have greenlit a second one to it. There's no way in hell Red One is considered a success for them if this isn't. If this pulled 55 million and they're going to release it on their streaming platform where you know this is going to be watched like crazy. It's going to be watched like crazy on that streaming platform. More people have Amazon Prime than most other streaming platforms, than Disney, than HBO, everything but Netflix probably, because they have it because of the Prime service. But it's going to end up being a success for them through whatever metric they're measuring it from. If we look at it straight from a traditional Hollywood makes movie, they want their money back. They hope they get it at the theatrical release. And whatever they don't get back, they'll get back on the selling of the physical media or VOD. That doesn't work in the streaming days. But if you look at Red One, same studio, same company, how could they not ultimately, at the end of the day, after marketing, after merchandising, after licensing, after VOD, after streaming release, how could this not be a success? There's no Red One toys. There's no Red One t-shirts. There's no Red One licensing deals, but there is for He-Man.
So I think you're hitting on a really important topic. And this is also why, like, for example, when the WGA struck like 3 years ago, whatever it was, one of the big bits of information that they wanted was to get access to the streaming numbers themselves. Because there's always these splash headlines about it, like, oh, it's the number one with this, number one that, it's been clicked on a million, whatever. We don't actually know the real numbers. Like, so when this drops on Amazon, if literally it's number one, but it's not only just number one clicked on, but people are watching it and then they're playing it all the way through, and they're going through the 3 ads that are going to be dropped in the middle of this movie. At the end of that, that's where Amazon will actually make their analysis of whether or not it was profitable or not. It's not going to be, this is secondary. Like without a theatrical release, this movie probably gets made anyway, and it just goes straight to their platform.
That's
so this
my
is kind of
point.
yeah. So this is kind of gravy, and that's the stuff that people miss. Like it's like Netflix doesn't care about going to the theater. They're looking at the streaming numbers, and they don't let anybody see those numbers. They kind of tease out a little bit every so often, and you get like a little tidbit of it, but you don't know what they actually look like. Like you don't know, like for Mark, he can go into his channel, right, and he can actually see how long everyone watches his videos, and if they're going all the way to the end, that's like a successful video, right? You
can do that.
Right? Yeah,
you can do that with YouTube. Steve, is that real?
It is.
Steve would know. He's the analytics guy. I just make videos and put them out, bro.
Which is why it's not necessarily the number of clicks; it's how long people are actually engaged. Right?
Exactly. Right.
Yeah.
So that's like if you look at Red One's numbers, I don't know them, but I'm going to speculate that you watched it all the way to the end, and you probably watched it again and again.
Numerous times. Yeah, numerous times.
Yeah.
And it's been out for numerous Christmases now.
For sure. And like,
watched it like 3 times in the last December alone.
Yeah. So like whatever it did in the theater, 250 million or whatever it was, they're like, that's great.
Now, that's the budget. That was the budget.
That was the budget. Yeah. So whatever it did in the theater, that's just gravy. They're just creating content, and they want people, the retention. They're looking at the numbers. So how many commercials are being played and stuff like that, which we never see.
Right.
So when He-Man drops, if literally people watch 5 minutes of it and then they turn it off, internally at Amazon, they're going to say, oh, this ain't getting another film. But if it's like, it's number one on their little top 10 list and everyone's watching all the way to the end and it's going through the commercials, they're gonna be like, throw out another one, go, green light, 2 more.
And the streamers are actually getting more secretive too. I mean, Disney is stopping even saying how many subscribers they have now.
Yep, exactly. They don't want you to know.
Right.
How many real subscribers, or how many of our tax dollar subscribers? For the record, I support our tax dollar subscribers for Disney Plus, because if y'all go look into that, they were just funding Nat Geo. But it's weird that they're funding it through actual D Plus subscribers. What a weird avenue to do it through, to pad numbers. I feel like there's something shady there.
So for my video, that was my review. I kind of did a Mark video there with a different title, walking out of the theater, giving my thoughts on it. Got 1,300 views, which is a lot for me for a movie review. 25% of people that watched my video watched until the very end when I have the JDF outro and all of that. I lost 50% of my viewers 54 seconds in. I lost 51% at 54 seconds in. So I actually did pretty well, honestly. So
that's not bad. What is that about?
That's really not
10,
bad. Honestly.
13 subscribers you gained from that, probably.
Only 4.
Mm.
Surprised by that, honestly.
But that's what Amazon's doing, like that exact analysis.
Right. They're looking at the analytics and seeing how. Yeah, I mean, so Red One made 83 million worldwide in its opening weekend. Tailed off, only made 100 million more, or 105 million more after that. Yeah, I think this movie's going to have better legs because of the word of mouth is going to be really good, and I think a lot of people are going to go see it a second time and third time, like they did for Superman. So I could see it still getting to that 150-200 range. I have a hard time seeing it get to 400.
It's got a good window also, though, because there's Disclosure Day is next week. That's overlap audience, and then after that, we don't have any big blockbuster release, I don't believe. So Supergirl on the 26th is the next thing.
Yeah, and that's in 3 weeks. So
I would actually say the opposite. The
what is Minions releasing or something?
No, but the word of mouth on these small YouTube movies is absurd right now.
Oh, Obsession. Yeah, those are crushing.
Like, I think, and I don't have any information on this, I'm just speculating. Then like in my circles in LA, like if someone's going to go to a movie that's not opening weekend, those movies, at least in my circles, are the ones that people are going to go to. But I don't know because I do wish that this had a little run on it. Yeah, I mean, I would like to see this. I would like to see another He-Man movie, to be honest.
Yeah, what's crazy is after just having the best May since 2019 at cinemas.
Dude, I love that. I love movie theaters, so I'm all about it. man.
Mhm.
Go check this
I
movie out.
I
Have
don't
fun.
understand how that's even possible, judging based off things like you went to a theater that can seat what looked like about 200 people last Thursday. How many people were in there
Way
with
bigger
you?
than that. Way bigger.
Bigger than that? It can seat how many do you think?
We're in my
That's
theater.
a big theater. That's a big theater. So I was in XD, like a Cinemark XD theater. I don't know the exact number, but I would say way bigger than 200. Way bigger.
And how many people were in there when you sent me that picture right before it started?
So that was Star Wars. That was Mandalorian Grogu. And right at the beginning, there was a 4:30 showing. I walked in at 4:30. There wasn't a single person. I was the only person in the theater, and I was shocked. I was shocked. In LA, for that to be on any movie is crazy. There was people in the movie, by the way, like showing up late. So there ended up probably being
5, 6,
10, 5 to 10, somewhere in there. And ironically, it was all like solo guys, which I thought was interesting. I always sit in the back of movie theaters, and I always kind of watch the audience's reaction also. But yeah, I was texting Mark in real time while I was there. I was like, this is a bummer for the Star Wars stuff. Because I'm actually with Paul. So if we want to talk about that, I thought it was actually like, I had only heard how terrible it was, and that it wasn't very, like, it was 2 episodes of a show, which I think are all valid criticisms, but I thought the movie was actually entertaining. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I gave it a 6.5. It was entertaining. It was in a nutshell, it's an abysmal outing for a Star Wars property.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like, why would you put this? Why would you put this in theaters? It didn't make sense to be in theaters. It was television show quality.
It was television show stakes. That was the biggest problem I had. It was television show stakes. For a movie, you got to up the drama. You got to up the chaos. The whatever it happens. You need to make it
upped the amount of
movie-worthy.
abs that the slug had. That's all they did.
Yeah. And I liked it too. Like I said, I would go see a Grogu in Mandalorian 2 in a heartbeat because it's a Star Wars movie. So I'm going to go either way. But I just, didn't think it was worthy to be in a movie theater, really.
Like, kind of similar to my criticisms of He-Man, which again, I like both these movies. To Paul's point, there's something about like the logic in a feature film that has to be, in my opinion, tighter than a TV show. Like, why are you bringing like Grogu everywhere, like in these dangerous missions? And I've heard that as a criticism, and I'm like, that's valid. Like, I don't know why he's there.
Infinity said you had to.
No, that's exactly right. And then but when you know that, then it sticks out while you're watching the movie, unfortunately. And the same thing, it's like when the sword goes flying, like if I was reading that screenplay, I was like, why don't they just pick it up? Like I'd look at all the writers and I'd be like, why didn't they just pick up the sword? And they'd be like, what do you mean? I'm like,
because they don't move without order.
What's that?
Because they don't move without orders. That wasn't Trapjaw back there. That was a bunch of those just mindless horde dudes back there. That wasn't Goat Man.
Skeletor is standing right there watching the fight.
No,
Skeletor could just say,
wasn't.
pick up. Yeah, he was in the fire pit when he fought.
He
Thor.
was.
Oh, in the fire. Oh, I thought you were talking.
It happens like 3 or 4 times, dude. The bridge, Skeletor is not there. He goes to the fire pit where he fights half Thor.
At the mountain.
Skeletor is like, give me the sword, and he turns around and fights the crowd, and the sword goes flying into the crowd. All he needs to do is say, "We got it."
Right. I'm out
over. That to me is
but does picking the sword up stop the fight, or do you have to stop the guys going to hit you in the face when you pick up the sword?
There's like 30 guys. One dude could grab the sword and bail.
Dude, he was jacking those guys up.
He was.
He got smoked enough for his sword to go flying. I mean, I'm just saying, like, again, I'm being nitpicking here, but those are like the details for me, like on a feature that stick out. Where I'm like, they didn't think this through enough. So when I hear those criticisms, I'm like, those are valid. Again, I like both the movies.
I did not go see Mando and Grogu. It was a movie that I feel like it's a couple years late, so I'm just gonna wait for it to hit Disney Plus, and I feel like a lot of people are doing that. And for that,
I'll be honest with you, I'll be surprised if you make it all the way through it.
Really?
If you turn it on at home and start watching. Dude, I imagine a lot of people are going to turn on Mandalorian and Grogu and just turn it off and go. They'll get distracted by their phone or something else. That's another thing. I know you probably watched it when Matt and Ben were on with Rogan. there was so much like what's the phrase, like behind the scene baseball, or what's the phrase that people
Insider
use?
baseball.
There was so much insider baseball on that, and they were talking about Netflix specifically and the streaming services and how they're being told to rewrite their scripts for an audience that's looking at their phone every so many minutes.
Yep.
And to your point, that they I don't know how they have a way of gauging these things. They've got their own science behind it and stuff. But that's how Mandalorian and Grogu felt, like that you're kind of writing it for that same audience that's looking at their phone.
And there were, I mean,
Okay.
you talk about, Jonathan, you talk about things that to me, like, it would have been a no-brainer. I know it's not a 20th Century Fox movie, but Disney owns Fox. You do the Fox fanfare, just like if you're in a Star Wars movie in the 70s or the 80s, you do the Fox fanfare, you do the Lucasfilm thing, right? And then all that stuff they did at the beginning, why wasn't that a crawl like it's a Star Wars movie? You know?
I
They
don't
missed
know.
out on all the stuff that's like fan requirements. The answer is because they're divorced from the fans. I came away with this theory though that because we did one of these streams after that movie and got into the weeds of Star Wars. I had Rob on here, had Evil Mike on here, and the conversation just organically went to this place where I came away with the conclusion that we know Kathleen Kennedy's she's done. You know, Filoni and Favreau were asked not long ago, what do they have planned for the future of Star Wars? And in short, they answered, we're not sure. We're working on that. There's no way they don't know what they want to do. But this movie felt like they needed to make a movie and they didn't want Kathleen Kennedy messing up their plans like she already did with Mandalorian. She completely ruined the entire trajectory of Mando. What we have now, this movie, season 3, Boba Fett, none of that, Grogu, none of that was meant to still be around today. Like they had a completely different story and trajectory that she stepped in after the success of season 2 and said, nope, bring Grogu back. We're going to do this Boba Fett show next, and then you can do your next season after that, which changed everything. I think that they don't want her messing up whatever plan he has with like Ahsoka, with Grand Admiral Thrawn, and they just put out this movie that has no stakes. Where you start the movie is the same place you end the movie. Nothing has changed. If you never see this movie, you never miss anything about the character and its growth. It just seemed like a space saver, like a behind-the-scenes space saver kind of project. Like if it was a comic book, it'd be called a filler issue. But it had its fun parts. That damn dragon snake was really cool.
Mm-hmm.
That he couldn't sink in the water with all the armor on. That I can't unsee it after they pointed that out.
Yeah.
Why did the Hutts throw him the helmet?
On Mandalorian and Grogu, my biggest like why didn't this ever happen comment, and I've heard a couple people say this, but it was like there's multiple times where he's unconscious in that movie, and you're like, take his armor, take all of his guns, like take everything, and they don't do that. And I was like, hey, that's another one where I just like when those things stick out to me in a movie, when it's like the most logical thing would happen in that situation and it doesn't, then I'm like, but if you can kind of turn that off, that's where you can still enjoy a movie. But when a lot of those things happen, they start to stick out, and you know that's where it snowballs, and it's like the movie just doesn't track at all. But yeah, so there was a couple of those in He-Man. There was a couple of those in Star Wars. There was one or two of those in even Mortal Kombat, but I enjoyed that movie a ton.
No,
I thought Mortal Kombat 2 was pretty good. But I liked He-Man more. But I didn't get to see Mortal Kombat 2 in the theaters, so maybe that would have changed.
Oh, dude, that was a theater movie. That was a popcorn movie.
Oh, Mortal Kombat 2 was incredible. Yeah, the
Dude, that was
first
a
thing
popcorn
when we were talking, came out of theater, and you asked me, what movie would you liken this one to?
Yeah.
And my answer immediately was like, oh man, if we're talking recent, Mortal Kombat 2. And you said, really? I would say Thor: Love and Thunder. I'm like,
yep.
At first I shocked you when I told you that I refused to watch that movie.
Yeah.
But I said I liken it to Mortal Kombat 2 in a sense that I felt like when they went to sit down to make this, they knew exactly what they wanted to do and who they wanted to cater to, and they leaned into it, and they did exactly that. I don't think the movies are similar other than for like they're just so separate genre, you know what I mean? But I think Mortal Kombat 2 is still my personal favorite movie of the year. I'm not saying it's the best movie of the year. Don't get it twisted. But my personal favorite movie I watched this year, which is night and day from when the 2021 Mortal Kombat dropped. Yeah, Ryan's here. This is like my OG co-host on YouTube right here back in the oldest days. Dude, when that Mortal Kombat 1 dropped, or 2021 dropped, I was so excited for it. I was pissed for an entire month, I think. Like I was on a tirade across the world. What do y'all know about the Last Starfighter reboot?
I didn't know they were doing a Last
I don't know what that
Starfighter
is.
reboot. I know the movie The Last Starfighter. I didn't. Whoa, look at that! It's within arm's reach. Who
What do
who
you
knew?
know?
Everything.
Who
The
knew?
magic hat, the magician's top hat, Mark's desk.
Mhm.
That one was kind of random, guys. Even for me.
That movie's awesome.
Yeah, it's awesome. Yeah, I think I heard someone mention that they're going to be doing a reboot. I don't know who's making it, when, or what. What's going
Yeah.
on, Rich? Ain't nobody care about that Creed.
They literally took his helmet off.
Yeah, nobody cares about that Creed but the Mandalorians. But it was goofy because the Hutts took the helmet off and said, "Oh, this is great. This is so expensive. We're rich from this helmet." And then it's like, "Oh, you're about to die. Take this with you to the trash," and they just throw it in the hole with them.
They say it's priceless. They don't say
Yeah.
it's. They literally say it. This is priceless,
And
they're
then
like,
throw
"Here
it
you go."
away. Yeah. But yeah, you said you compared it to Thor: Love and Thunder. Paul, is that a fair assessment?
The tone.
Yeah, but I didn't actually like Thor: Love and Thunder.
So here's well,
I
you're
liked
giving
it.
like half of the conversation. So your argument, well, besides the fact that you haven't actually seen the movie, is kind of sketchy. You should still watch it.
Okay.
Your argument
No,
was
Kevin.
that Thor: Love and Thunder was a betrayal of the character itself, like
Yes.
of Thor. And I think that's an
Yes.
absolute valid criticism of the Thor movies. I don't even think it's close. Like which one's the worst or my least favorite? It's like a cliff to number 4. But the tone itself, it's closer to that than I think it's way closer to that than Mortal Kombat. The jokes in Mortal Kombat for me worked really well.
it landed every one of them.
Yeah, they were like perfectly timed. They weren't overused. It wasn't like we'll undercut this moment to get a joke in to see if it's going to work. And don't get me wrong, in He-Man, like there was like multiple times where I was the only person laughing in the theater. I was like, there's no way they just said that. But it was always like, Thor: Love and Thunder is god awful. I mean, fair enough. I think the tone is the same. I think that movie and this one kind of always goes for the joke.
But I also think, for me, Mortal Kombat was, for the most part, you had basically two characters that were you had Johnny, right? Johnny Cage, who was the funny, and then Kano.
Yeah.
Right? Those were the two comic relief characters. Everyone
Yeah.
else played it pretty
Played it
serious.
great. Yeah.
Yeah, totally.
Sonya, serious as a heart attack. Raiden, Liu, Kung Lao.
Well, I'm not comparing
Shao
He-Man
Kahn,
to.
yeah,
I think Mortal Kombat's way better than He-Man. Well, not way better, but I liked it
think
way
we've
more.
mentioned like how they approached the humor in that movie. They didn't see let's take it back to Thor. So like I don't have to watch Thor: Love and Thunder because I've already seen Ragnarok and it's already a travesty to the character Thor and the concept of a superhero movie. It's already offensive as it needs to get. So I don't need to see something that takes that even farther. But I'd have these arguments again. Like I was the first one. I've said it since the day any of y'all met me on right here on YouTube, and Steve can attest to this. He's known me since my earliest days. Thor Ragnarok is a canary in the coal mine. The second that movie came out, I said the MCU was cooked. The whole project is dead. It's done. It's cooked because they're going to keep doing Guardians of the Galaxy. Now, not only does everyone concede that, they say it about the DCU that's just getting started. Now that's a trope to even say that. They're just Guardians of the Galaxy-ing it. Like Sledge just said it in the chat. It's become like, it's like saying you're Googling something. It means to look it up. To Guardians of the Galaxy, something means it's just fast-paced neon lights, needle drops, and a lot of humor. Like they took away any kind of like subgenre from the MCU project, and Thor Ragnarok was it. It doesn't matter who the character is anymore. It's the same character. It doesn't matter what the story is. It's the same tone. It doesn't matter how serious it is or what the stakes are. It's the same tone, same pacing, same everything. And that just doesn't work for Thor. But if you go back to Thor #1, that movie's very funny. Kenneth Branagh directed that one. Hercule Poirot himself, Dr. Victor Frankenstein, a proper director, helmed that movie. And what he did was he took Thor, an Asgardian, and he put him in a small town in the desert around regular Earthlings. That's naturally going to breed humor. Simple things like the culture differences. He finishes a beer and he slams the mug on the ground and says, "Another." And Kat Dennings looks at him with Kat Dennings' face. You know, that's natural humor. That's like a fish out of water kind of approach, kind of like with Johnny and Kano. This is how they are. So them naturally interacting in different environments will create different organic humor. You have none of that in Ragnarok. I'm sure you have none of it in Love and Thunder. And it's just
so there's more to the Thor story than you're glossing over a lot of the stuff that people actually don't talk about. The second movie was not received well at all. So they're trying to salvage a character, and that was dark, and that was more accurate of a portrayal of what Thor would represent, and that movie didn't do well.
Thor Dark World was fantastic, though.
I did not.
I like the second Thor movie. Most people say, like, at the time, if you go back, if you can, like, take your memory back, people didn't like that movie. And
I'm aware
like,
it's one of the. Yeah, I'm very aware. It still did like 650 million worldwide. I wonder what it is on Rotten Tomatoes.
But that was like
I remember very well that people didn't enjoy it. They held it as one of the lower installments in the MCU. But for it's one, dude. It's this, and I'm trying to think. I might like it better than the first one. Well, you had the whole dynamic with him and Loki, the whole introduction of the ether and stuff. Skarsgård was hilarious in it. Like,
so there's actually remnants from the first movie in the fourth that you don't actually really know. So in the first movie, Ashley Miller, the writer of Thor, he wanted goats in that movie. The stupid ass goats that showed up in Love and Thunder, that was a remnant from the first movie that the producers were like, this is too dumb. And like those things all kind of existed. So like there's a lot of extenuating, well, the biggest one is the director of the movie. I think he destroyed, or did what he did to the Love and Thunder. But there's components that got us there. So to just say Thor Ragnarok destroyed is the most biggest contributing factor, there was other variables. No one liked the second one.
I'm not saying it's a contributing factor. It's the canary in the coal mine. The canary didn't cause the gas leak. The canary let you know that there's a gas leak.
In the same argument, though, then wouldn't Thor 2 be the canary in the coal mine?
No. Thor Ragnarok was when they finished and released that let me know that this studio is bitch made, that they have no interest at all in making original genre style movies like we did with Iron Man, had the whole tech angle, Cap had the spy espionage stuff, Thor had the sword and sorcery, Guardians of the Galaxy was a cosmic space opera. We now saw that the surprise success from that, and what they deemed, after looking at all those things that I just said, they said, this one will probably work good. It just worked good. Just do that again with Thor. Because they didn't like it last time. So just do that with Thor. And when everyone's like, oh, Thor Ragnarok, this is so good. I saw Hulk's butt cheeks. This is so great. Did you hear the music? Oh, this is so great. I laughed so much in this Thor movie. They're like, okay, do that again. Do that again. Do that again. That showed me right there with Ragnarok that we are no longer doing Marvel movies. We're just doing Guardians movies. Just Guardians. That's all we're doing. Guardians. And everything became humorous. Everything just became copy paste. That when Thor Love and Thunder came out, I don't care what nobody tells me. I'm ignorant and I'm pig-headed. That movie wasn't so much different than Ragnarok. It's just everyone's sick of the jokes. They're sick of it, not just with Thor Love and Thunder. They didn't like the Marvels. No one even went and saw Thunderbolts and got pulled from theaters. No one liked Captain America 4. They're done. They're just done by the time Love and Thunder came out. They were ready for something different. They gave them the same shit they've been giving them since Ragnarok, and they're done. I would push back on that really hard. I don't think, like, Thor Ragnarok just
if love it or hate it, it doesn't represent the character. It's a comedy, whatever you want to call it. The movie itself, fair. I'll concede all those points.
Yeah.
The actual movie itself, I could teach a class in that movie. It is phenomenal.
I didn't say it was bad. I didn't say it was a bad movie.
Okay, so I'm conceding that. Thor: Love and Thunder is not that.
Is a like, good movie? A bad movie?
No,
what?
No, Thor Ragnarok.
I'll be back.
You might be the the canary in the coal mine.
Mm-hmm. It's a mining expression.
Fair, whatever. I'm conceding the point. If you change Thor to anybody else, just call it Adam Ragnarok, and you watch it through that lens, like, I think it's a good movie. I actually really like the movie. I'm going to own that. I like all the Thor movies, and I like the first three, and I like Thor in all of them. I was first in line to see Love and Thunder, and I remember exactly the way I felt coming out of the theater.
Mm-hmm.
It is like Chris Hemsworth said this. He's like, I'm done with working with genius directors, like not having a prepared script, a really well-written script, not utilizing Christian Bale, not using Gore, the God Butcher, like that. You burned a really awesome villain with a great actor that could have crushed the role. The movies themselves, saying Ragnarok and Love and Thunder are the same kind of movie, I don't think that does that movie justice. I think Ragnarok is, at its core, you might not like it. I think the movie is phenomenal.
No, I don't think it's a bad movie. I think it's just offensive to do that to a Thor movie. And I get the audience was there at that time, and that's their job to do. But this is coming from the comic book purist in me kind of thing.
That's totally fair.
And that's the very specific lens I'm looking at it from. A little gatekeeper-ish, but I think we're about to see the rise of the gatekeepers in this day and age because they're needed right now.
Yeah, and I think for me personally, I think the whole Marvel Cinematic Universe lost its way after Endgame, to the point now that I think the Russos know that, and now they're calling the new movie Phase 0. So they're going to go back before Phase 1 and basically wipe out everything that was done after Endgame. And it's like, okay, you know what?
Yeah, the Ninja says Chris Hemsworth plays Thor no matter what movie he plays in. I would encourage you to go watch Extraction. He plays Tyler Rake. There's actually a Tyler Rake comic book from Ignition Press. I just became aware of that. I've not read it. I have no intention to. But Tyler Rake, there's 2 movies with him, and that is by far not even close. That is my favorite thing Chris Hemsworth has ever been in. It's his best portrayal of a character in any movie. You watch it and you stop thinking about Thor. It doesn't take long at all in that movie to see him as Tyler Rake, and it's one of the most intense, gritty, go get 'em type movies I have ever seen. Think Man on Fire, but with like a mercenary instead of a security guard kind of thing. It is incredible.
That movie's awesome. Man on Fire is awesome.
Yeah.
You threw out a couple awesome movies. Man on Fire is the original's awesome too. Man on Fire is a remake.
Yeah, and now you have the is it Yaya that's playing him on the Netflix show that just came out?
Oh, I haven't been watching the show, but
I haven't either. I haven't started it yet. I think Sledge said he watched the first episode, but I'm pretty sure Yahya Abdul-Mateen is playing him. Maybe. But yeah, I want to check it out. You're throwing bullseye daggers in my heart. That's what I do. I wish DC would make a new video game if they had the right team. A Batman, Superman, Green Lantern. I got that Wonder Woman game they were working on. Looked incredible. Yeah. Extraction was not Thor. Extraction is Thor. Chris Hemsworth plays Tyler Rake in Extraction and Extraction 2. Gatekeeping has always been needed. Yeah, so that made me think of that because J-Man apparently has been arguing with people on Facebook, which I encourage him to do it more often. Sounds like it's fun. Like I'm not even gonna lie. I went to Facebook, which I never get on. I just typed in J-Man to see if I could find where he was arguing with people because I think it's funny because he's arguing about comic books and stuff. But he arguing so much that he ended up making 2 videos in a 24-hour period about fake fans and fake because there's like people like I guess on Facebook popping up telling him he's not a real fan of He-Man or a real fan of Doctor Who or this or that. So it's just J-Man for like 20 minutes talking about how he's watched every season of Doctor Who and he's bought every scarf and this and that. It's super funny, dude. But I can feel his frustrations. And then that guy, Paul, that with the blue tape on his nose, who Rob Liefeld
Yeah.
called a moron.
Yeah.
So he did his the same version of it. I saw it today where he's talking about fake fans, but it's kind of the polar opposite. It's a different angle. It's like the people that say that say he's basically calling people fake fans. Like he said, if you think it's wrong that Sam Wilson was Captain America, you didn't like Sam Wilson being Captain America, you're a fake fan. Or if you didn't like it's funny. Like I'm seeing different people in different spheres calling out fake fans, and ultimately what it's boiling down to is just the people that are tourists that come through and they like a movie and then they bail, but while they like that movie, they're on the internet telling people what's up and down. Like they saw James Gunn's Superman movie and now like they're going around saying this is the real Superman, having never read a book, watched a show, seen any of the other movies, just joining the hype train kind of thing. But seems like there's more than just a little bit of conversations being had about gatekeeping, because that's ultimately what it is. He's a friend from work.
Yeah.
That was pretty funny. How are you doing? Oh, I'll be seeing JSS here in a couple of days.
I think Chris Hemsworth has a lot more really good movies that you're skipping on. 12 Strong is awesome. Snow White and the Huntsman I enjoyed.
Pause. 12 Strong is one of the horses, right?
Yeah.
Snow White and the Huntsman was great. I even like the second one.
And there's one movie on here that I know you love. That is
Cabin in the Woods.
Nope.
Vacation.
Think more recent, like in the last year.
Oh, Ghostbusters, the remake with the all-female cast.
That's from 10 years ago. Transformers 1 is awesome.
Yeah,
movie.
he's my Orion Pax. Yeah, dude, I'm a fan of
awesome.
Chris Hemsworth. I've seen like all these movies we're naming. Yeah, he was great. It was Orion Pax.
That was
Oh, are we talking Transformers 1?
Yeah, the Chris Hemsworth filmography.
So, yeah, directed by the same guy, right? Travis Knight?
Is that who did Transformers 1? Yeah, that explains a lot. He's made 2 really enjoyable movies now that I know.
I'm pretty sure he did that one too, yeah.
Oh, thank you.
He is always the best dressed for sure. He has an impressive t-shirt
collection. Oh, I'm
collection.
sorry. No, he did Bumblebee.
Oh, okay.
Wrong Transformers movie.
The most interesting thing about Chris's filmography is that he's in so many MCU movies that if he wasn't Thor, he would have 10 more movies that he had done. I mean, that dude is literally working for Disney 9 months out of the year for the past 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
Did y'all see Vacation with Ed Helm? He literally plays Rusty grown up from all the National Lampoon Vacation movies, but he goes to see his sister who's married to this rich weatherman in Texas, played by Christopher Hemsworth, and he always has all these leaky faucet references, and he's standing there in like his underwear with like this 13-inch prosthetic in his pants, like putting his foot up on the chair and stuff, and just it's one of the funniest scenes ever, dude. It's so funny. And they accidentally drive the ATVs through his precious cow and just that movie is wild, dude.
Yeah. Hilarious movie.
Oh, look, a dart and throws the needle. Whoa. Yeah,
dude,
it's great stuff. All right, let me pull up and see what y'all think, because we're kind of touching on a little bit of the DCU. Steve, what is your projection? If you just had to guess, how do you think the DCU is going to end up being successful? Or do you think it's going to end with the Superman movie that's already being made?
That's a great question. I will say, I said it in the chat earlier, I think one of James Gunn's biggest mistakes is not having a Batman movie be one of his first 3 movies to launch the universe. Like, I don't know how you can have a Supergirl movie and a Creature Commandos be one of your first projects when you're launching a universe. So to answer your question, if we're just going off of just that, I would say not successful, but Lanterns looks like it's going to be amazing, and I'm really excited for Man of Tomorrow.
Yeah, so for some context, despite what anyone tries to tell us, I really enjoyed the Superman movie. it didn't do at the box office what they wanted it to do. You know, there was like this weird reaction when it all comes down to it. The movie only did like 600 and something million. Like it didn't do bad at all. That's for sure. And the
It was the
marketing
international
huge
audience.
for it. Like I'm talking worldwide. You know what I mean? Worldwide, it
Yeah.
did like 600 something. But it had like great merchandising, all kinds of licensing stuff everywhere. It did really solid physical media sales for 2025. You know, and the VOD sales. So ultimately, it was a financial success. There's no getting around that. But it didn't have the giant fanfare they were hoping for. But that could be a lot of people still, a general audience is still doesn't know, like, they're not sitting here like we are talking about they're restarting the DCU. This is the start of something new, X, Y, and Z. So we really have Supergirl as our second outing to kind of test the waters and see what it does. And that's I don't know if that's tracking too well. A lot of people are speculating that it can go two ways, that with the merger or the buyout of WB, if we don't see like a good success streak happening from Supergirl, Clayface, Man of Tomorrow, that they could potentially just put a fork in it and just say, all right, screw it. Let's just abandon ship and just go back to just making standalone films, which I would argue they should have done already. They should have done it 5 years ago. Just went back to making Black Adam was great. Don't need no homework. It stands on its own. Blue Beetle was fantastic. Despite them not being viewed a lot, they worked good by themselves. Superman on its own merits, perfectly fine. There's no reason to have to build a universe off its back. It can, but that's the little thought that it might just fizzle out. That might just be all we get from a DCU.
Well, if it fizzles out, then
Oh,
Paramount
God.
can do their Star Trek Superman crossover movie.
Hey,
And bring two franchises back.
I'm interested to hear J-Med's thoughts.
yes,
Oh,
he
no.
was, Ninja. He was.
On the whole
Future of the
Gunverse?
DCU, the potential of the Gunverse failing or succeeding.
So I think I'm in the minority, or at least I don't know. I think the Supergirl trailer looks awesome. Like I
Phenomenal,
do.
dude.
Mhm.
Like all the like anytime I see anything come across my feed, it's like this is Guardians of the Galaxy or whatever, and there's some like comment about it, or and I think there's validity in some of the stuff, like crypto peeing on Superman's face. I think that's like a legit criticism, but I think the movie looks awesome, and I'm gonna see it opening weekend. I don't
Same.
think that will be what the majority of the kind of fandom is gonna think, which is kind of a bummer. These actors need to stop talking just entirely. Like they literally just don't talk, or just say like,
Billy's been tricked by some media questions really bad.
well, like that's a whole nother thing that the studios really need to do. They need to realize that like unfortunately these people in Hollywood, they're not trying to sell their movie anymore. They're trying to get you, which is a disaster. Like you need people to ask you questions to promote the movie, not to have a viral moment. And that's what they're trying to do when they're interviewing you, which really stinks. Like really, really stinks. And it's like impossible for like a 24-year-old actor to like navigate that, because I've been in the I know these people. It's they're really, really nice. And when you're sitting there and these questions are coming through, you're like having a formal, like a nice conversation. You're kidding around, and some things are like tongue in cheek, but then it's just taken and run with. So I don't know how long. I would speculate that Gunn is probably short. Like I think there's probably a new reboot coming quick, unless something really happens. Like Supergirl's amazing, and then Superman, the next one comes through and it's absolutely off the charts. That would save it, but I think it's probably not. And I also think Hollywood is kind of, at this point, they've poisoned the well so much that they're now chasing the wrong movies. Like they're chasing Avengers level movies when they need to say, hey, we're chasing Iron Man 1 movies because we're starting over to regain an audience. Like the audience that we think we're chasing to get Infinity War and Endgame, those people are not all there anymore. because
They're
of what's
gone,
the
yeah.
Yeah. So it's like readjust your horizons, like stop making $300 million movies, come down to $80 million, like Deadpool 1.
Mortal
And
Kombat.
it's like those make a really great movie and rebuild your fan base. And then, Hollywood
Yeah,
doesn't look.
They did
Good.
Mortal Kombat 2 on 80.
Yeah.
It looks like full-fledged big production. It doesn't great sets, CG's great, choreography's great, physical special effects. You can do just fine with 80. There's no reason to do triple digit budgets even on blockbuster films.
It's a lot of who they're paying, and they're paying themselves like huge numbers. So it's like that's where the numbers go to like 300 million, or even like Red One when you were saying like The Rock.
Yeah,
Like,
250.
There's very little reason that movie was $250 million. It was because of the people getting paychecks. Like DJ got a huge paycheck, and more power to him. Like get your money, but the numbers come down really quick when you're not paying yourself $40 million. To be.
And you also had Chris Evans in it, who was also can generate a pretty high paycheck as well. Not like Dwayne, but yeah, it's funny you mentioned, because one of the things that I said a long time ago was that I felt like Marvel in some ways was almost just training its audience to only go to the movies where you gather up all of your heroes together and make this huge 300 million blockbuster, and these individual movies are not going to sell anymore.
Yeah.
The suit looks incredible in this photo, by the way. I don't know if it's been adjusted, but the red so much redder, the blue so much bluer, the yellow so much more yellow.
They were saying that the emblem looks like it's a little bit bigger than it was in the last one. They did make some tweaks apparently, so
yeah, it just looks very vibrant. His hair looks fantastic with the curl and a little bit long in the back.
I agree. And to J-Med's thoughts about that. Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania cost $330 million to make. There's no reason
just to make communist propaganda that fails at the box office. That's crazy.
I mean, if you looked at the breakdown of that movie, I bet you there are producers on that movie that cleared millions and millions and millions of dollars that did nothing. And it's like that's the only way you can possibly get to that number. But that's also on the heels of the success of seeing that box office returns are $2.5 billion for Avengers movies. They want like anybody, that's what they did, and they think they've earned that, and they're continuing on that path. So it just needs to be kind of recalibrated back down to like we're starting at Iron Man. Like that's what our budget is.
That was another great headline that came out in the past week or two. Besides the May being the best in 7 years, was this is the first time in close to a decade or something that the box office has gotten to $1 billion without having a Marvel movie come out.
Yeah, that's pretty impressive.
Doctor Strange, Multiverse of Madness, budget $350 million. It's so stupid. So stupid.
Yo, Twitter's wild.
What's going on? I missed it.
Can't leave that up for long. It was
oh, is it the fighting scene at the end?
The He-Man. Yeah, dude. Yeah.
Give it a 10-piece nugget.
Yeah. Dude, that was so tough. Yeah, Twitter's insane. Wasn't it? Yeah, it was you. Like the entirety of MK2 was up for an extended period of time.
So I watched it on there. Why not? Right? If it's free, it's not on like a broken site. It was on X. I'm like, I'm gonna watch it. And I was gonna go to see the movies literally that day when you sent me that link.
Yeah. Oh, what is it? I showed Pops how if you just get on YouTube, like the weekend a movie comes out in theaters, you just get on YouTube and search the name of it every couple hours when you think of it. About 1 out of 10 times you're going to find it in pretty high definition, and it'll be there for a few hours before it gets taken down. So that's how he's watched like a lot of new movies now. He's not going to pirate sites, but he's not going to go get out. See, he watched Project Hail Mary twice back to back. He called me there. Like,
who did? Paul?
Pops.
Oh, Pops. Okay.
Yeah.
Dude, by the way, Mark, you said
I can't
Kombat's better than
good arm.
You said Mortal Kombat's better than Project Hail Mary?
I said personally for me, for my fandom taste.
Not for me.
No, I don't think that. I don't think that
Yeah, Hail
Mortal
Mary
Kombat
is
2 is a better movie than Project Hail Mary, but I enjoyed myself at Mortal Kombat 2 more than I did. See, I can easily look at movies two different ways, like from a critical standpoint, technical standpoint, or my personal enjoyment. Because a lot of times people get those two things confused. If they personally enjoy Sharknado, but they don't enjoy Dune Part 2, that doesn't mean Sharknado is better than Dune 2. I'm sorry. Those are
Yeah.
two different things. And Dune 2 is better than Sharknado, and you can enjoy Sharknado more. Those are two things that can both be true.
100%. I mean, I like, I'll talk people. Someone will say to me like, all right, my students will say to me like, how do you define a good movie? And it's whatever you like is a good movie. Like, and if you say you like a movie more, you win the argument. It's your preference. So I have no issues with it, but I was just curious. You said Mortal Kombat was the best movie of the year, and I was like, Project
Is interested in this book. It's his Bible. You should try it. Read it. It's good.
I'm looking for.
No.
I like that more than I like Daniel Day-Lewis in There Will Be Blood. So that's that better.
Oh my goodness. Okay, now we're getting into.
Now does it make sense? Now does it make sense?
No, now it
The
doesn't.
GOAT, Daniel Day-Lewis, in probably the most stellar performance ever filmed. This is my son. Like, come on.
Yeah.
Come on. There's
Yeah.
a difference between personal enjoyment, because that can change based on how well you slept that night. Did you eat before
for
you
sure.
go in? Or
Well,
did you just get fired from your job before you went to
Here's
watch the
another way to
movie?
look at it. Here's another way to look at it.
That Daniel Day-Lewis is the GOAT.
Here's another way to look at it. I just said personally that I think Project Hail Mary is a better movie. I'll watch Mortal Kombat probably a dozen times. I don't think I'll watch Project Hail Mary
Ever.
twice. No, I'll watch it again, but it's like one more time. That was a theater experience, and I thought it was phenomenal. I'll watch Mortal Kombat. Like as soon as it's streaming, that's
Here
going
we
to be
go.
playing nonstop.
Here's the great thing. Thank you, Ryan. The concept of a movie versus an experience. Yeah, your experience, a lot of exterior factors can change your experience of watching the Steve. How was it watching Superman the first time versus the second time for you? The new one.
It was immensely better the second and third time that I watched it. And I don't know if it's because I went with my wife and my brother-in-law and his family, and I was hyping the movie up so much because I was hyped myself, and I kind of felt like I let them down when I went and watched it. Whereas the second and third time, I knew it was what I was expecting. So I was like, I'm just going to go and try to have fun, and had a lot more fun the second and third time for sure.
Same movie.
Same movie. You know
Different
what? A movie.
experiences.
Yeah, and I went to see The Flash opening weekend with a friend of mine who likes to laugh a lot. We laughed the entire movie. We loved that movie, and I know a lot of people did not like The Flash. I know a lot of people did not like it. I still really enjoyed it, and in fact, I watched it most recently on the plane when I went to North Carolina a couple weeks ago. So
Yeah,
I
I'm
still
an
like The
anomaly.
Flash.
I'm an anomaly as well. I like it. First off, what's up, Kevin? Nolan should stick with the original source material for Odyssey. Keep white only. What's going to hurt the film is the box office. Adding blacks and transgender actors. Did this become contentious? I'm one of those people that I'm a diehard Nolan defender. I'm trusting the process, and also if you're doing the source material, they shouldn't be white. But I'm pretty sure they're Greek.
I think they're trying to talk about how with Brad Pitt as Achilles going from that to whatever we're going to get in Odyssey. There's going to be a major drop
potentially
off.
Elliot Page, which that's like
Right.
I know Nolan's worked with Ellen Page, now Elliot Page through the careers, and I don't know who else is in it that's a point of contention. I know like Agamemnon's armor was a point of contention, and then the Giants having armor now is a point of contention. Everything about it is being nitpicked. But one thing that I'm not going to do is, like I said the same shit about James Cameron. I'm not going to bet against Christopher Nolan. That's one that I'll be watching from a pure excited at the technical standpoint of it. Like when I'm watching it, I'm going to it'll be a little bit difficult for me to get into the story the first time I'm watching it, because I'm going to be looking at all the shots and all the way that the cinematography is, and it's very distracting watching a Nolan movie for the first time, because it looks like you're looking at a technical miracle has just taken place to even have made it the way that he does.
So isn't there a new rumor about who Achilles is? That it's Christian Bale?
So the first rumor was, and it was a rumor, that Elliot Page is playing the ghost of Achilles because presented like with dirt and muddy and stuff. So there is no confirmation. It's all just speculative. But because like it's a very hot button issue for a lot of people and stuff, but I don't know. I'm not going to bet against Christopher Nolan though. Like I don't know where do y'all stand on it?
I'm not gonna go see it. I don't really care about that.
Really?
movie, to be honest
I'm
with
gonna
you.
go see it.
Could not
I will
care.
see it opening weekend. I do think Nolan has a couple misses. Like I wasn't the biggest fan of Tenet, but he's on my short list of like.
Whoa! How many times have you watched it?
Tenet?
Yeah, I'm not saying that jokingly. How many times have you watched it? Honest answer.
I'm trying to twice. That's it. Maybe some bits and pieces of it.
Dude, I gotta tell you, every time I watch Tenet, and I've seen it I think 4 times now, it gets so much better because it's so overloaded with its concepts. And every time you watch it, the concepts become so easy. You're not trying to figure nothing out, so you're picking up all the little details. And again, I think it was a dumb idea because of how overloaded it is. It requires countless viewings. But if you do have the time and the ability to, it's such a fun little experiment.
I think you just described a poor movie. If you have to watch it like 10 times for it to make sense, you're kind of making the
thing's
argument.
in reverse, bro. What do you expect?
Fair. For me, like, dude, I still think it's like a decent movie. I'm just saying, like, on the Nolan list, I guess you could go with like Insomnia or something like that, maybe. But I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm seeing Odyssey for sure.
Oh yeah, big time.
Yeah,
that's awesome. Awesome, Patel. Nolan used a garbage modern interpretation by an activist. That is the biggest issue. I don't know who wrote it for him or what. I don't have a clue on that aspect. I don't know if he's got.
Yeah. It's that they're supposedly using an adaptation of like a feminist from like 3 years ago of the Odyssey or whatever.
That's a terrible idea.
Yeah, that's I think what that comment was about.
I can tell you all the movies I'm going to go see this year. It's not that many, but I can tell you all of them if you guys want to know.
Go for it. And I'm surprised it's not many because there's some good ones in the pipe this year.
Okay, so Supergirl for sure.
Yeah.
Debating on Disclosure Day. It's coming out right around when I leave, so that's probably not going to be a movie I can see. Spider-Man Brand New Day.
Yeah.
I'm going to go see, where is it? The new Hunger Games movie, and then Fokker in Law. The Fokker in Law movie looks like it's going to be amazing. It looks so funny.
I still haven't seen the trailer for that, and it's been out for so long.
Oh, yeah. And I think that's it. Oh, and then Avengers Doomsday if it comes out.
Clayface?
Possible.
I'm seeing that opening week.
I'm not a big horror fan, but I'm a DC fan, so we'll see.
Bro, we know you're going to be a Toy Story.
Not
realistically, my kids will end up seeing that. I won't, but Pops or my mom or somebody will end up taking the kids to see it probably.
I'm going to see Toy Story like 5 times.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Steve, if you
have to find a nephew or something fast, bro.
Steve, if you do not see Toy Story, you will not have a friend in me.
Oh,
I've seen a couple of them, and some of them are good, or some of them aren't so good. Like the original was great. Like I've
seen the first one. Yeah, I've seen the first one. That's it.
Yeah.
You haven't seen Toy Story 2, 3, or 4?
No, because when they came out, I wasn't a child.
You have children.
There.
First off.
Well, when they came out, I didn't have children.
Your
Toy Story 2.
oldest,
What year did Toy Story 2 come out?
Your oldest would have been like.
He watches
7.
Frozen, bro.
That's all around the same time period.
Yeah, she watched like all right. So when my oldest was a kid, like that's when like the Barbie CG cartoon movies were popular. Tinkerbell had her own like direct-to-video movie line. Frozen was kind of big for the Disney thing. Like I don't come from a household where you get excited for, nor do you watch every Disney cartoon that comes out. That's fucking weird to me. I've told y'all this 1,000 times. Paul knows this is a Warner Brothers household. This is a Warner Brothers house. When you in the late 80s and the 90s, there's two types of people. You got the Disney kids and you got the Warner Brothers kids. We fought on the playground. We sat on different sides of the lunch table. Some of us wore blue, some of us wore red. It was a whole thing.
Coyote versus Acme looks pretty good too.
I'll be seeing it. I'll be seeing it.
4 was good. Toy Story 4 was good. My daughter was 4 at the time we went to go see it.
My wife's watched all of them. My kids have seen all of them.
There are moments in some of the Toy Story movies that will literally bring a tear to your eye. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah, Mark, what about Wild Robot? When I left that theater, I told you, I was like, go see Wild Robot.
Exactly.
Who made that? Who made that? Say it. Not Disney.
Universal did.
Universal?
Yeah.
Illumination.
Yeah, like it was amazing. Absolutely amazing. I've watched it numerous times.
You still need to see Bad Guys 2. Bad Guys 2 is absolutely
I've seen
amazing.
clips of it. Like I've turned it on for the kids. They've seen it a bunch of the times. I don't have time to barely keep. I haven't even finished Spider-Man New War. I literally stopped watching Daredevil's most recent season because it sucked. And like I don't have like all the time in the world. You know how much stuff I listen to wasting time? Like the amount of, keep in mind, guys, I work with animals. So I have an earbud in my ear all day long, just listening to stuff, listening to podcasts, listening to debates, listening to all kinds of stuff. I don't have time to watch shitty TV shows or children's movies. I've been rewatching Alaskan Bush
Those
People.
movies are awesome. You said shitty, so
I separated shitty TV shows, shitty TV shows, i.e., Daredevil that I just mentioned, or children's movies, because I don't have a lot of time to watch. I can listen to a lot of stuff, but yeah, I haven't had a chance to finish Spider-Man New War yet. I gave up on Daredevil. Never had time to sit down and watch Invincible. Haven't had time to watch The Boys.
Invincible's so good.
Skip The Boys. Invincible might be on I'm going to say it is on the Mount Rushmore of animated shows. It's on the round. It is that good.
The most recent season for sure.
It is amazing.
Yeah. There's some good stuff out there that I'll get around to seeing. I think
2 is fire.
Yeah. And what's the other one that you told me to see that's more recent? I think it might still be in theaters or just finished.
Animated?
Yeah. Cartoon. One that I'm like, why'd you go see that without a nephew? And you're like, ha ha ha.
Was it The Goat?
No, that one's number 3 on Netflix right now, though.
So David, I saw Goat in theaters, the basketball movie.
The animated film Date. No, it's like about some hedgehog or some woodland animal. It's just the name of the woodland animal.
Hoppers.
That's it. So you told me to go see that
Disney movie.
The kids went to go see that. I didn't get to see it, but you told me it was good. The kids, my mom took them to see that.
So Hoppers is the first half of the movie is cookie cutter kind of Pixar movie. There's a moment in the movie about 45 minutes in, it's a 90-minute movie, where if you're not laughing the rest of the way, I don't know what makes you laugh. It is hilarious. No, wrong.
Like my kids loved it. Here. My kids loved it.
It's on Disney. It's on Disney Plus now, so you can watch it there.
See, Pops gets it. You are dying laughing. All right, little spoiler talk. Anybody on Hoppers?
You can spoil Hoppers, bro.
No, I'm not doing it. From that moment on, anybody that's seen it knows what I'm talking about. When that happens, you're going to be dying. And then the whole shark scene, you are melting down. Like, it is hilarious. Is it the greatest movie ever? No, but it's pretty funny.
I'll be honest with you. I will never go back and watch The Boys. I'm talking to the person presenting. I just won't. I just don't care one bit. Like The Boys lost me early on. I was saying this with season 1. I enjoyed season 1, but I'm not a fan of like edgelord stuff. Like I get it. There people, it's violent. Oh, that's cool. I get it. There's a bunch of wieners in it. I get it. That's so fucking cool. It's not for me. Like I don't care. Like I don't mind all that stuff as long as there's a good movie to go with it. And it just, I don't know. The Boys just wasn't for me.
Have you seen Charlie Stanicki?
Seen what?
The movie Charlie Stanicki. Wait, that's
you sure it's called Charlie?
John Cena, right, or something?
Yeah,
John Cena.
Yeah.
What you just did, if you haven't seen that movie.
Oh, he's double dicking again.
Dude, it was a good movie. It was a good movie.
It was
I
funny.
another
could
Prime
not
movie.
It was
believe
funny.
that movie got made. I could not believe it. When he's doing his karaoke in the strip club, John Cena. Oh my God.
It
How did
looked
they
like the
record that?
humiliation ritual that you hear about. But live action Moana looks horrible. I will y'all are gonna hate me for this. I will be there to see that one in theaters. I love Moana. Personally,
I
I,
do like
love
Moana.
Moana a lot. And I can't wait because I'm gonna troll everybody, including like myself, when they say, why do they make these live action? Who is this for? I'm gonna post pictures of me in front of the poster. I said, for me. For me, I'm here with my children. See, I go with my kids, J-Med. If you come to Augusta, I'll let you take them to a movie. But I'll be there. I'll be watching. I think The Rock looks ridiculous, and I can't wait to see him act ridiculous as Maui because Maui is a ridiculous character. I can't wait to see him half shark. Like what? I can't wait to see Tafiki in the beautiful, vibrant colors. It's going to be fantastic. I can't wait for the songs because I'll be singing them, sitting right next to Monkey.
Did you see Moana 2 then?
Yeah, we went to the theater and saw Moana 2. It was garbage, but it was fun to
That
go
was
see it.
terrible.
It was terrible, bro.
Not the
Made
best.
over $1 billion, and yeah,
Yeah,
we
we
were
turned
there
it on at
opening
home, and
I think we went I think we went Thursday night to see it because school was still in, or maybe it was Thanksgiving holiday. I think it was Thanksgiving holiday. I don't know, but
I
we
fell asleep
went
watching
to.
that.
Yeah, it wasn't good. It felt like the old Disney stuff from the 90s when you would get a sequel and the sequels didn't go to theaters. They went straight to VHS.
Yeah.
And the animation clearly wasn't as good. The voices sounded a little off, but as a kid, you didn't know that it's not the same voices. They're cheaper actors.
Well, they started that as a TV show, and I think
Right.
that was the most glaring thing. Like that was going to be a TV show, and then they turned it into a movie. And I was like, man, that's yeah.
Oh, dude, I don't think the Moana live action looks good. I think that I'm just going to have fun watching it, Ryan. Like it looks fucking looks like they made a live action Moana, bro, and The Rock has no nipples and a funny hairpiece.
I think it's going to be shot for shot the same, like when you saw How to Train Your Dragon. Like I think it's going to be shot for shot. Maybe
I hadn't got to watch that yet either, and I like How to Train Your Dragon.
I liked it too.
I've bought
Did you
it,
see the live action,
but I
Steve?
haven't sat down to watch
I did
it.
not see the live action.
It's 30 minutes longer, so some of the scenes are like you're like, oh, they're just paced incorrectly, and there is a couple new little ads, but that movie is actually terrifying. Like the dragons in that movie look straight out of Game of Thrones, and you're like, this is a kids movie. That's why it worked as an
Oh.
animated movie. I was like, there was kids crying in my movie theater, and not because I was there, Mark. Shut
Bro,
up.
you've got to find a nephew stat. He goes to so many kids' movies. I'm like, dude, you're gonna get in trouble one of these days.
Here you go, dude.
Yeah, dude, I wish that they still did ticket stubs, but here
digital.
everything's digital. They don't.
Look at
Yeah,
that first one out of the
anymore.
bucket. No way.
What is it?
Moana.
Moana 2.
Moana too.
Oh wow. All right, well, it's about 10:30. Y'all ready to spin this wheel?
We are.
It's almost time.
Oh.
All right, I'm going to show everybody. For those that don't know, I have the channel membership. I appreciate everybody that supports the channel, that watches the videos, that subscribes. To those in the channel member tiers, I got 2 channel member tiers. The supporter tier, they get you the loyalty badge next to your name that shows how long you've been a channel member. You get access to the custom emojis. But then we have the Legion tier that you get early access to videos. You get the little invites, all that kind of stuff. And you also get your name on the Legion Loot prize wheel every month. And sometimes, we'll slam some months together to do a bigger giveaway, but do a big giveaway. And I try to theme them and celebrate stuff that's relevant. And what's more relevant right now than Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow? So what I would argue is going to be the biggest movie of the month. So we got a Supergirl themed giveaway, starting with the Superman Supergirl Day special issue number 1 of the current ongoing series. This is a cover that was made specifically for this day, as well as Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow, the book that the movie is based on, a blank cover that you can draw your own cover on or find an artist to draw the cover for you if you ever go to conventions or stuff. Supergirl The World, which was a Supergirl Day book. It's a sampling of the upcoming book where they have artists and writers from all over the globe come to work on this big project book together. And this time they've done Joker and they've done Batman. Now they're doing Supergirl. And then
Superman as well.
Supergirl, yeah. And then Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow, issue number 1 with a Gerard Perrell exclusive cover for Superman Supergirl Day. It's really Superman Day, but because Supergirl's out this year, they did like this cool little marketing where it's kind of just like spray painted over. It says Supergirl. Put out some really cool stuff. So issue number 1 there. Then of the Peter David run, issue number 1. This is a key comic right there from that little popular run. And then we have Adventure Comics 210 reprint featuring the first appearance of Crypto, since Crypto is such a big driving part of the movie. Then we got the issue number 252 reprint. So you can read Supergirl's first appearance in the reprint. I think this is the one from this year, from the Superman Day this year. This wasn't a giveaway one. This one, it's like $4 when it came out. And then have the foil version, so you don't have to get the foil one out and get your fingerprints all over it. You got the regular one to read. And who is this? How do you say this artist's name? This was that big popular variant that dropped that spiked that week. I don't know where it still stands, but this was a hot variant cover for Supergirl that came out. Scored one of those. And then we have the DC Finest collection. Giant, awesome collection. Collecting Supergirl's stories from 1959 to 1962. So you actually can learn a good bit there about Supergirl. We have this Lobo original piece drawn by Comics with Izzy, aka Ishmael. Very awesome, because Lobo is going to be a big character in the Supergirl movie.
Yep.
And here is the first print, issue number 1 for Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow. What's this book up to now, Steve? Like $30 or so?
I was just about to look that up now that you pulled that up, because I saw it in your post. It was up to like 209.8. I don't know what it is raw, but
Oh, it's not done, J-Med. We got one more after this one, but
yeah, $35.
there you go. And then this thing is $40 by itself. And then the Izzy drawing and all the other stuff. And then you got, last but not least, Omega Men issue number 3, the first appearance of Lobo. This is not a reprint. It's a first print original. So you get the book that the movie's about and the first appearance of the main man, that most people's most exciting part of the movie. Definitely for me. I think you said that's the most unpredictable part of the movie. Yeah, this is like one of like my favorite books of the past like 5 years. So I'm excited for the movie itself, but I'm excited to see what they do with Lobo. I just opened my Lobo motorcycle. I don't even know where the hell I put it now. It was somewhere. It's up there now. I just opened my McFarlane Space Hog and got Lobo on it now. I told Paul I had to open all those real fast before we hopped on here before the show, because I use these books in the background of those little shorts, and I'm about to give them away. So I had to open my Crim of the Red Hills figure, my Lobo motorcycle. But all that's going to one lucky winner. So we got everyone's name on the wheel.
Stop.
There we go. They're shuffled up. Paul said stop, not me. So y'all know how it goes. If you win, be so kind as to tell Paul thank you. He is the one that determined the shuffle. But if you lose, don't blame me. I didn't shuffle. Good luck to everybody. Don't forget, hit that join button. Check out the channel membership if you're not a member. Read up on it. See if it's something you might be interested in. That's what funds these giveaways, is that channel membership. That's how it happens. So hopefully I'll be able to find some cool stuff at Heroes Con, put together a good idea, something fun for June. We'll see what we do next. And here we go. These are going to Never Could Figure It Out. Steve, you were the next name.
I was wondering. I was like, did that say Burke on there next?
Yeah, you were the very next name and almost got around to you. Going to Jason, Never Could Figure It Out.
Boom, nice.
Congrats. Need a screenshot.
We need more Heroes Con. I'm excited for it.
Yeah, I wonder if he's going to Heroes Con. I have to message him and see. I think that's the second time winning Legion Loot. But yeah, appreciate everybody coming and hanging out. Get out and go see He-Man. It just hit theaters. It just hit theaters. They literally kicked Star Wars out of IMAX so we could go see it in IMAX. Go see it in IMAX. They literally kicked the movie out so that we can see this. Yeah, we saw it in IMAX. Great time. Paul, what's going on this week? Is it a Guess That Key week?
It is not.
Oh.
Next week is Guess That Key week. And actually we have I believe Mr. Burke will be with us in 2 weeks, in a week from Wednesday. And we have a new guy. Johnny's Comic Stuff will be with us. So
nice.
Timer. So, and then tomorrow morning, Mark and I, 10 o'clock, we have the deep dive on Absolute Green Lantern number 15. How about you, Burke?
I'm probably gonna have a review of Absolute Catwoman, a full review coming out on Wednesday. Then gonna have some Heroes Con stuff since I'll be at Heroes this weekend. That'll be fun, hanging out with the friends and getting to meet Snyder in person and some other people, and it's gonna be great. It's gonna be really, really, really good.
You better get in line as soon as you get there.
Yeah, I'm planning on, and possibly an Absolute Batman preview. We'll see.
Right. And J-Med is firing up Toy Story 2 right after we're done.
Well, that's it for tonight, guys. I appreciate y'all coming. Do I have a video? Yeah, I have a video tomorrow. I started a new rabbit hole. Check out the video. Come join me. It's going to be fun. It'll be an adventure.
I saw it in comments.
Yeah, going on an adventure. All right, that's going to do it for tonight. And to make J-Med happy, I'm going to play a clip from the greatest animated feature film of all time to get us out of here. You're muted, J-Med.
Iron Giant coming in hot.
You are who you choose to be.